Hi, Keith Herrington here. I'd like to spend the next few minutes just kind of talking about my experiences as a newbie in the ham radio amateur world as a technician. I just got my technician license about a month ago. I'm still not where I want to be with ham radio. It's another one of my many hobbies that I've gotten into. I'm starting to get into, and this is kind of one of those things like golf. You can you can spend a lot of money on it. It can eat a lot of money, or you can do it as little as possible. But so far, I've been a little bit gun shy about really getting on the radio and talking much. My wife don't understand that because I talk all the time. But anyway, I'm always worried about not saying the right thing. And the few guys that I've talked to in the ham radio, they said that's typical. The more I talk and the more I open up on the ham radio, I'll get more familiar with it, and things will come more natural, and I won't be nervous anymore. And I think it's the same for everybody. The few guys that I've talked to that are in the ham radio hobby, they've all experienced the same thing. I did start out, let me kind of go over this real quick. I started out with a couple radios, GMRS, and I started out with my GMRS license. I printed that with my 3D printer. And I got into that, kind of getting familiar with the two-way radio, and it was okay. It wasn't where I wanted to be, but it's a place to start. With GMRS, there's no training you have to take, or no testing of any kind. You pay your dues and you receive a GMRS license. Of course, GMRS means you can only talk on GMRS frequencies. So if you have a ham radio like this one, or like the other Bofang I got, those are ham radio. These are ham radios, and you're not supposed to use them for GMRS. These are ham radios, but they will tune. You can tune these to GMRS frequencies, so you can listen in legally. So that's something you can do with these. Anyway, now that I've got my license, I want to get into it more and more, and get some equipment picked up. I did just purchase this. This is a few things that I think as a newbie it might be good to get. There's a few things I actually picked up through the Amazon world without spending a whole lot of money. I've got a little frequency counter. This thing here, I say, is a must to start with. It's a Nano VNA. I just recently purchased a X300A antenna. It's a 2 meter, 70 centimeter antenna, and I've got it out on my roof, and it's a really good antenna. It does a great job. I use the Nano VNA to actually check its resonance and see how it looks and everything before I even hook the radio up to it, so I kind of know where I'm at. I presently have my little Bofang radio, my little UV5R, which is a pretty typical radio. A lot of people got them, and this little radio is hooked up here. I can actually, from my home now, I'm in a rural area of Tennessee, and I can hit 3 repeaters from my home, which I couldn't do before I got this antenna, and it hits them with no problem whatsoever. So it does a really good job. But anyway, I've got it up on my roof, and it went up real good, installed easily. I run the coax in through the peak of my house, and I'll put some pictures up here shortly so you can see it. And it does a fantastic job. It worked out really well. I still want to get an HF antenna of some sort, whether it's a dipole or something I'm going to put up. I haven't decided how I'm going to do it, if I'm going to put it up in the yard or in the attic or whatever. I don't have an HOA or nothing where I live, but I do want to keep my property clean. I want whatever I put up, I want it to be neat. I don't want it to be, wires stringing all over the yard and all over the place and from tree to tree and all that. I don't want all that. I want mine to be functional but yet clean anyway. So that is my goal. Being a newbie, I'm trying to be real wise on what I buy, and like I say, these little two-way radios. You can pick these up fairly inexpensive. They're not that expensive. $50, or whatever. You can pick these radios up pretty inexpensive. I think the Bofang's $45, something like that. So you don't have to put a lot of money into handhelds, at least to get you started. I've looked at a ton of radios. I've got so frustrated. Luckily, I've had some people to talk to, engineer people I know and what have you. That's also ham radio guys, and this hobby seems to be more around geeky kind of guys like myself, or guys that's into engineering or electronics or whatever, because that seems to be where everything you work with is around those areas. Now, I won't say that everybody in ham radio is like myself or an engineer or whatever, but it seems to be the type of people that you get, more geeky type people into techie kind of stuff. So you will, if you're like me, I still not comfortable with talking on the radio, because I'm always afraid I'm not going to start out correctly using my call sign and then ending correctly, and I'm always worried about how long should I talk on the radio. Am I going to be hogging the radio up if I ask questions or talk to somebody? So I'm still learning all those ropes, and I'm just not there yet. We have a swap meet coming up in a few weeks, and I plan on being at that, and that's not too far from where I live. And I'm hoping to pick up a mobile, one for the car, and either mobile, base, whatever, and a power supply to set up a home rig, so I can just use these when I'm out and about, what have you. There's a lot of things you can do with the technician license that I'm finding out. Of course, typically 2 meters, 70 centimeter is the typical starting point. Most of the guys that start out are on those frequencies, because there's repeaters and what have you. But it looks like a lot of the real fun, or the enjoyable part of ham radio, is moving into HF more and talking more long distance, as far as communicating with other people in other parts of the country and the world, or what have you. And that's kind of where I want to go at some point. When I get there, I don't know. It's going to be a slow ride, I think, to get to where I want to be. Then again, it may fizzle out. I hope it don't. I hope I stay involved. I want to get involved in some clubs and some local, with local guys and stuff that's in the ham radio. And I want to make sure that I'm doing all the right things, and I'm I guess learning the things I need to learn, and kind of stay involved in the hobby, because I think if I'm not involved, or I'm not talking to people, or I'm not just being involved. If I'm not involved, I'm going to lose the desire to stay in it, and I hope I don't do that. Especially if I'm going to spend some money. If you start spending money on this, you can put as much money as you want into it, and if it's something you don't enjoy, or you're going to get burned out down the road, spending a whole lot of money is not the way to go. So I got to do this wisely. I got to take my time, and hopefully I'll do the right things where I'll stay involved and I'll enjoy this. I would hope also that for me, as a newbie, that my goal is to get involved in some way where I can help the community by being part of an emergency group or something, where where disasters occur or whatever, you have a way of communicating with other people in that type of thing, and I just don't know where I'm going to go with it, and but I want to stay involved, and I want to learn all I can learn. Eventually, I do want to get my general license, and that is a goal at some point. I don't know when I'll get there, but that is one of my goals. Other than that, I'll continue doing what I'm doing. I like to, a lot of my hobbies, you see behind me, I used to be music and stuff quite a bit, but I've had 2 shoulder replacements, and that is something it's very painful to do a lot of that kind of thing. Plus, I just kind of lost the interest in that, which I hate. I hate that's the way it is, but lost my voice, say surgeries, what have you. And I just don't have the desire much anymore to be involved in something I really liked at one point. I used to enjoy all the gear and recording and what have you, and that was always a fun thing to do. But now as I get older and things change, I just, different things become fun and you stay with. But as things change, you pick up new hobbies, new habits, and new likes and dislikes, that kind of thing. So I'm hoping this little ride here is going to be a good one. I'm going to enjoy it, and I'm going to meet new people, and I'm going to have a good time with it. And I hope to get my wife involved, get her involved more, where she can eventually get her license. I'd like to see her get her license. So especially if she's out in the vehicle with a on a ham radio, that she understands what she's doing, and plus she has her own license and stuff where she'll it'll be comfortable for her, and she's done whatever it needs to be done to get to that next level. And I hope she'll get into it, but we'll see how that goes. But anyway, that's my perspective as a newbie. I hope I didn't bore everybody to death, which I probably have, because I am still overwhelmed with a lot of it. I don't know where to go. If it wasn't the fact that I had a few people to reach out to that's been in ham radio and talk to them a little bit and give me some guidance, because I really didn't know which way to go, and I'm really overwhelmed. And I still haven't gotten involved enough with the local people to really pick their brains. I went to one meeting already, and didn't have a lot of time, maybe 15, 20 minutes to actually talk to people. And most of the people that at the meeting kind of left, so I didn't get really speak to everybody. I spoke to just a few people. The few I spoke to were helpful, but yet I don't know where their interests are, and I'm not really, I didn't get a lot of guidance from them to where to go and what kind of radio to have, just what kind of gear they had, that kind of thing. But what they have and what I might need may not be the same thing, depending on what level they're at. A lot of those guys they've been in it for many years now, and so it's for them, they're way beyond whatever thing I would be into right at the moment, because I'm just not there yet. Like I say, I want to work through this wisely. I want to make the right purchases. I want to buy the right equipment, the right antennas. At the same time, whatever I do, I want to keep it clean. I want everything to look good. I want everything to be in its place, and I want it to be functional. And I want everything to go right. And so I'm gonna move slowly through this thing. Anyway, I'm hoping that the swap meet coming up will be rewarding, and I'll get some good purchases there, get me started without spending a whole lot of money. That's my goal, and maybe those guys can give me some ideas and some pointers too on what to buy and what not to buy and that kind of thing. Of course, they'll be selling everything, so they're going to try to push on me whatever they're selling, which hopefully they'll be honest enough to say, well, no, you're a newbie, you probably don't need this, and you got technician's license, so you don't need this yet. So I just, I hope they're gonna steer me straight, but we'll see. Anyway, I'll let you go with that 73s, and I'll be back again, and I'll give you my next step and things that I've experienced or things that I found to be rewarding, that I learned, and hopefully I can help you newbies out there, because I'm still a newbie and I'm still learning and I'm still confused. So hopefully I'll be beyond that point next time you see me. Okay? Have a good one. Bye-bye.
Lock the door and tuck the key. Feel all right there. I'm not feeling like myself. I know that you're feeling all right. I'm not feeling good.